Have you ever wondered if there's more to your existence than what meets the eye? Today, we're diving deep into one of humanity's most profound mysteries, the true nature of human beings, through the lens of body, soul, and spirit. What makes this exploration truly exceptional is that we're about to challenge everything you thought you knew about human nature. While most people see themselves as just physical beings, what I'm about to share will completely transform your understanding of who you really are. This isn't just another spiritual video. After dedicating 2 decades to studying ancient biblical texts, consulting with theological experts across 3 continents, and examining over 200 historical documents from the Vatican archives to the Dead Sea Scrolls, I've uncovered profound insights that rarely make it into mainstream discussions. These findings have been cross-referenced with modern theological research from leading seminaries in New York, Boston, and Jerusalem. By the end of this video, you'll gain 3 life-changing insights. First, you'll understand the unique functions of your body, soul, and spirit, knowledge that's crucial for making informed decisions about your life and eternal destiny. Second, you'll discover why so many people feel empty despite having everything they want materially, and how to fill that void. Finally, you'll learn practical ways to nurture each dimension of your being, leading to a more balanced, purposeful, and fulfilled life. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn isn't just information, it's transformation. This knowledge has the power to revolutionize how you see yourself, your purpose, and your relationship with God. And trust me, once you understand these truths, you'll never look at life the same way again. The body, our earthly vehicle. Let me take you back to the dawn of human existence, a moment that forever defined our understanding of the physical body and its profound significance in God's grand design. Picture this: the Garden of Eden, Earth's first morning. The air is pristine, untouched by human breath. Here, in this perfect sanctuary, we witness something extraordinary, the very first act of human creation. As described in Genesis 2:7, God takes the dust of the ground in his hands. This isn't just any dust, it's the very essence of earth itself, carefully chosen by the Creator of the universe. With divine precision, he begins to form something never before seen in all of creation, the human body. Think about the magnificence of this moment. The master artist sculpting every detail, the intricate network of veins and arteries, the complex neural pathways, the delicate structure of the eyes that would one day behold his creation. Each finger, each toe, each strand of hair placed with purpose and intention. But here's the fascinating part. This perfectly formed body lies lifeless on the ground. It's a masterpiece of engineering, yet it lacks the spark of life. This brings us to a crucial understanding about our physical body. It's extraordinarily complex, yet fundamentally limited. Modern medical science has documented this complexity in staggering detail. The human body contains approximately 37.2 trillion cells, each performing countless operations per second. Your heart will beat about 2.5 billion times in your lifetime. Your DNA, if uncoiled, would stretch from Earth to the Sun and back 61 times. Yet despite this incredible engineering, the body alone cannot sustain life. In the garden, this truth was demonstrated dramatically. The first human body, though perfect in form, remained motionless until God performed an act that would forever distinguish humans from all other physical creation. He breathed into this lifeless form the breath of life. This divine breath transformed mere matter into a living being, illustrating a profound truth. The body, while magnificent, is ultimately a vessel. This brings us to a sobering reality found in Genesis 3:19. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. This verse reveals the temporary nature of our physical existence. Like a sophisticated spacesuit designed for astronauts to explore space, our bodies are intricately designed vehicles for our earthly journey, essential but not eternal. Consider the implications of this truth. In our modern world, we spend countless hours and resources maintaining and improving our bodies, diet plans, exercise regimens, cosmetic procedures. While maintaining our physical health is important, as 1 Corinthians 6:19.3 reminds us that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit. Many people make the critical mistake of investing everything in this temporary vessel while neglecting the eternal aspects of their being. The story of the rich man in Luke 12:16-21 powerfully illustrates this point. Here was a man who focused entirely on physical prosperity, building bigger barns to store his wealth, only to have his soul required of him that very night. Jesus used this parable to demonstrate the folly of prioritizing physical abundance while neglecting spiritual wealth. Here's what makes this understanding so crucial. Your body is not just a random collection of cells and systems. It's a masterfully designed vehicle created specifically for your journey through this physical realm. Every heartbeat, every breath, every sense and capability was engineered with purpose. Yet, like any vehicle, it has limitations and an expiration date. This leads us to a profound question. If our bodies are merely temporary vehicles, what is it that they're carrying? What is this essence that God breathed into humanity, setting us apart from all other physical creation? To understand this, we must look beyond the physical realm to something far more mysterious and eternal, the human spirit. But before we explore the depths of the spirit, let's pause for a moment to fully grasp this revelation about our physical nature. Understanding your body as a divinely crafted vehicle rather than the sum total of your existence changes everything: how you care for it, how you use it, and most importantly, how you view your true identity. As we'll discover in our exploration of the spirit, there's something far more profound dwelling within this masterpiece of divine engineering, the spirit, the divine connection. Let me take you back to one of the most pivotal moments in human history, the creation of mankind. Picture this: the earth, newly formed, with its pristine landscape stretching as far as the eye could see. But among all this beauty, something was missing: the crown of God's creation. In the ancient texts of Genesis, we find a remarkable account that reveals the profound mystery of the human spirit. The scene unfolds in the Garden of Eden, where God himself stoops down to perform an act of intimate creation. Unlike any other creature, humans weren't simply spoken into existence. Instead, as Genesis 2:7 tells us, God formed man from the dust of the ground. But this was only the beginning. What happened next was extraordinary. The creator of the universe bent down and performed what we might call the first divine CPR. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. This wasn't just ordinary air, this was ruach, the Hebrew word that carries deep significance. It means spirit, breath, wind, the very essence of divine life itself. In that moment, something unprecedented occurred, and the man became a living soul. This divine breath, this spirit, is what sets humans apart from every other creation. Think about it. While animals were formed from the earth and given life, only humans received this direct divine breath. It's like the difference between a masterfully crafted violin and the musician's breath that transforms it into an instrument of beautiful music. The body without the spirit is just an empty vessel, no matter how perfectly formed. Throughout history, this spiritual connection has manifested in remarkable ways. Consider the prophet Ezekiel's vision of the Valley of Dry Bones, Ezekiel 37. He witnessed an army of skeletons, complete bodies, but they were lifeless until God commanded, "I will put breath in you and you will come to life." This dramatic scene illustrates a profound truth. Physical form alone isn't enough. The spirit is what animates us, connects us to the divine, and gives us our capacity for relationship with God. But here's where the story takes an even more fascinating turn. The spirit's role doesn't end with giving life. It's our direct line of communication with the divine. Think of it like a cosmic Wi-Fi connection. Just as your phone needs a signal to connect to the internet, our spirit is what allows us to connect with God. This is why the Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 2:11, "For who knows a person's thoughts except their own spirit within them? In the same way, no one knows the thoughts of God except the Spirit of God." This spiritual connection explains why humans throughout history have felt a deep longing for something beyond the physical world. It's like having a built-in homing device that constantly points us toward our Creator. When people say they feel spiritually empty, or that something's missing. They're actually describing a disconnection from this vital spiritual link. The most compelling evidence of the Spirit's unique role comes from what happens at death. Ecclesiastes 12:7 tells us that, while the body returns to dust, the spirit returns to God who gave it. This isn't just poetic language, it's a profound truth about our nature. The Spirit, that divine breath, is on loan to us during our earthly life, but it ultimately belongs to God. But here's the most remarkable part. Unlike the body, which wears out, or the soul, which can be wounded, the Spirit can be renewed and strengthened. When Jesus spoke to Nicodemus about being born of the Spirit, John 3:6, he was revealing that our spirit can experience regeneration, a fresh infusion of divine life. This understanding of the Spirit as our divine connection point leads us to an equally fascinating dimension of our being, the soul. While the Spirit connects us to God, the soul is where we process and experience all that the Spirit receives. It's like the Spirit is the antenna receiving divine signals, but the soul is the screen where these messages are displayed and experienced. The soul, our true identity. Let me share with you one of the most profound stories from ancient Jerusalem that illuminates our understanding of the soul. A story that changed how humanity views its own identity forever. Picture yourself in Jerusalem, around 30 AD. The city is bustling with merchants, priests, and pilgrims, but there's tension in the air. A controversial teacher named Jesus has been drawing crowds, challenging traditional understanding of human nature. On this particular evening, as the sun sets over the limestone walls of Jerusalem, Jesus sits with his disciples on the Mount of Olives, overlooking the magnificent temple. It's here that he shares one of the most revealing parables about the human soul, the story of the rich man and Lazarus. Luke 16:19 through 31. Jesus begins his tale with two men whose lives couldn't be more different. The rich man, dressed in purple garments, a symbol of extreme wealth in ancient times, lives in a mansion with gates that separate him from the common people. He feasts lavishly every day, surrounded by luxury that would rival modern-day billionaires. Outside his gates lies Lazarus, a poor man covered in sores, hoping for mere crumbs from the rich man's table. Even the street dogs show more compassion than the wealthy man as they come to lick Lazarus's wounds. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Both men die, and in this moment Jesus pulls back the curtain between the physical and spiritual realms, revealing a profound truth about the soul. Lazarus is carried by angels to Abraham's bosom, a place of comfort and honor in Jewish tradition. Meanwhile, the rich man finds himself in torment, able to see Lazarus in the distance, but separated by an unbridgeable chasm. The rich man's desperate plea echoes through time. "Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am in anguish in this flame." But Abraham's response reveals a crucial truth about the soul's eternal nature. "Child, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, and Lazarus in like manner bad things. But now he is comforted here, and you are in anguish." This story isn't just about wealth and poverty. It's a masterful revelation about the soul's true nature. Notice that after death, both men retain their consciousness, memories, and emotions. The rich man remembers his 5 brothers and wants to warn them. He feels, thinks, and reasons, all without a physical body. This demonstrates that the soul is our true identity, the seat of our consciousness that transcends physical existence. But the story doesn't end there. Historical records from ancient Jewish writings, particularly the Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in 1947, reveal that this understanding of the soul was revolutionary. While Greek philosophers like Plato had discussed the soul's immortality, Jesus' teaching added a crucial dimension: the soul's moral accountability and eternal consequences of earthly choices. This brings us to a profound realization. Your soul is not just a concept, but your very essence. It's where your deepest emotions reside, where your crucial life decisions are made, and, most importantly, where your eternal destiny is determined. Think about it. When you feel joy, love, or sorrow, It's not your physical brain creating these emotions, but your soul expressing itself through your body. The evidence for this lies in near-death experiences documented throughout history and across cultures. People who have been clinically dead report consciousness, emotions, and memories, all functions of the soul, even when their brain showed no activity. Modern medical science can't explain this phenomenon, but ancient biblical wisdom already provided the answer. We are souls with bodies, not bodies with souls. This understanding revolutionizes how we view ourselves and others. When you realize that your soul is your true identity, material success and physical appearance become secondary to spiritual and emotional well-being. The choices you make today aren't just shaping your temporary circumstances, they're determining your soul's eternal destiny. As we transition to understanding how the soul interacts with both body and spirit, consider this. If your soul is your true identity, how are you nurturing it? Are your daily choices aligning with your eternal nature? Or are you, like the rich man in Jesus' parable, focusing solely on temporary pleasures? The answer to these questions leads us to explore something even more fascinating: how your soul connects with your spirit, creating a bridge between the physical and divine realms. But before we delve into that mystery, let's pause to consider the profound implications of what we've just discovered about our true identity. This understanding of the soul isn't just theoretical, it has practical implications for how we live each day. And as we'll see in our next segment, this knowledge becomes even more powerful when we understand how our soul interacts with our spirit, creating a complete picture of human nature that will transform how you view yourself and your purpose in this world. The interconnection, a divine symphony of body, soul, and spirit. In the heart of ancient Jerusalem, around 30 AD, a peculiar scene unfolded that would perfectly illustrate the profound interconnection between body, soul, and spirit. Picture a crowded marketplace near the temple, where a wealthy merchant named Benjamin sits slumped against a stone wall, his expensive robes gathering dust. Despite his material success, his face bears the weight of an invisible burden. For years, Benjamin had focused solely on physical prosperity, accumulating wealth and status. His body was adorned with the finest garments, yet his soul harbored a growing darkness, bitterness from years of ruthless business dealings. And his spirit remained disconnected from God. This internal discord manifested in mysterious physical ailments that no physician could cure. This scene mirrors a deeper truth found in the book of Proverbs 17:22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. This ancient wisdom reveals the intricate connection between our emotional state, soul, spiritual condition, spirit, and physical health, body. Benjamin's story parallels the biblical account of King Saul, whose spiritual deterioration led to emotional turmoil and physical decline. In 1 Samuel, we witness how Saul's disconnection from God, spirit, led to paranoia and depression, soul, which manifested in physical symptoms that only David's spiritual music could temporarily alleviate. But the story takes an unexpected turn. One day, while Benjamin sits in his usual spot, he encounters Jesus teaching in the temple courts. The Master's words pierce through his carefully constructed facade. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Mark 8:30. This encounter triggers a profound transformation. As Benjamin begins to understand the interconnected nature of his being, he experiences what the Apostle Paul would later describe in 1 Thessalonians 5:23 as complete sanctification of spirit, soul, and body. The transformation begins in his spirit as he reconnects with God. This spiritual renewal cascades into his soul, washing away years of bitterness and greed. As his soul finds peace, his physical symptoms mysteriously begin to fade. This triumphant restoration showcases the divine orchestration of our three. This ancient wisdom carries profound implications for modern life. Consider Sarah, a contemporary New York executive who experienced debilitating anxiety attacks. Her doctors focused solely on physical treatments, until a wise counselor helped her understand the interconnection of her being. Her anxiety stemmed from spiritual emptiness, which manifested in physical symptoms. Only when she addressed all three dimensions did she find true healing. The biblical narrative provides numerous examples of this interconnection. When Daniel and his friends refused to defile their bodies with the king's food, their spiritual conviction, spirit, led to physical health, body, and mental clarity, soul, superior to their peers. When David experienced spiritual restoration after his moral failure, his soul rejoiced, and his physical strength returned. Just as a symphony requires all instruments to play in harmony, our well-being depends on the balanced functioning of body, soul, and spirit. Modern science is just beginning to understand what Scripture revealed millennia ago, the profound psychosomatic connection between mental states and physical health, and the deeper spiritual dimension that influences both. Imagine your being as a three-story house. The foundation must be solid for the middle floor, soul, to be stable, and the top floor, body, to function properly. When we neglect any level, the entire structure becomes compromised. This is why Jesus' ministry addressed all three dimensions: healing bodies, restoring souls, and rekindling spirits. The implications are revolutionary. Physical symptoms might signal spiritual disconnection. Emotional turmoil could indicate spiritual drought. Spiritual renewal often brings emotional healing and physical restoration. Understanding this interconnection is crucial for holistic well-being. As we transition to practical applications, remember Benjamin's transformation. His story teaches us that true healing and wholeness come only when we attend to all dimensions of our being. The question now becomes, how can we practically nurture each aspect while maintaining their delicate balance? In ancient Jerusalem, during the time of King Solomon, there lived a wealthy merchant named Nathaniel. Despite his material success, owning vast estates and trading precious goods across distant lands, he found himself increasingly troubled by an inexplicable emptiness. His story, preserved in ancient Hebrew texts and later referenced in rabbinic commentaries, provides us with a powerful illustration of how understanding and nurturing our three-dimensional nature can transform our lives. One evening, after a particularly profitable trading journey, Nathaniel stood on his rooftop terrace overlooking the gleaming walls of Jerusalem. The setting sun painted the temple's golden surfaces with brilliant hues, yet he felt no joy. His body was adorned with the finest garments from Damascus, his table laden with delicacies from Egypt, but his soul remained restless. Solomon's response, recorded in various forms throughout ancient Middle Eastern texts and reflected in the wisdom literature of the Bible, particularly in Ecclesiastes, provides us with a profound framework for practical application of body, soul, and spirit care. Consider, Solomon told Nathaniel, how a master musician cares for his instrument. The harp must be properly maintained, its strings carefully tuned, and the musician's spirit must be aligned with the music he wishes to create. This threefold analogy became the foundation for understanding how to care for our complete being. Let's examine how this ancient wisdom applies to our modern life. Caring for the body, Solomon taught that just as a harp must be maintained in optimal condition, our bodies require proper care. He pointed to the natural world, where even the smallest creatures maintain strict patterns of rest, nourishment, and activity. This wisdom is reflected in Proverbs 3:7 and 8. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Modern application includes regular physical exercise, reflecting the natural rhythms of work and rest, proper nutrition, following principles of moderation and wholeness, adequate sleep, honoring our body's need for restoration, regular medical checkups, practicing preventive care, caring for the soul, the strings. Solomon explained how a harp's strings must be properly tuned to create harmony. Similarly, our soul, our emotional and mental well-being, requires careful attention. He shared how David, his father, would play the harp to soothe Saul's troubled spirit, demonstrating the powerful connection between emotional and spiritual well-being. Modern application includes regular emotional check-ins through journaling or counseling, practicing forgiveness and emotional release, cultivating healthy relationships and community connections, engaging in creative activities that nurture the soul, caring for the spirit, the musician. The most crucial element, Solomon taught, was the spirit, the divine breath that gives life to both body and soul. Just as a musician must be in the right state of mind to create beautiful music, our spirit must be in harmony with God to experience true wholeness. Modern application includes daily prayer and meditation on Scripture, regular worship and community fellowship, practicing gratitude and mindfulness, serving others and living with purpose. As Nathaniel implemented these practices, ancient texts record a remarkable transformation. His life began to reflect the harmony Solomon described: physical health, emotional peace, and spiritual vitality working together in perfect balance. The climax of Nathaniel's story comes during the dedication of the temple. As the priests and people worshipped, Nathaniel experienced a profound moment of integration, body prostrated in worship, soul filled with joy, and spirit connected to the divine presence that filled the temple. This moment, recorded in ancient chronicles, became a testament to the power of living as an integrated being. The legacy of Nathaniel's transformation echoes through the ages, teaching us that true fulfillment comes not from neglecting any part of our nature, but from nurturing all three dimensions in harmony. Just as a beautiful melody requires a well-maintained instrument, properly tuned strings, and a skilled musician, our lives reach their full potential when body, soul, and spirit are properly cared for. As we come to the end of this profound journey through the dimensions of body, soul, and spirit, I want to leave you with a powerful challenge. Look in the mirror tonight and ask yourself, are you truly nurturing all three aspects of your being, or have you, like so many others, been focusing solely on what's visible to the eye? The truth we've uncovered today isn't just ancient wisdom. It's a revolutionary understanding that can transform your life, your relationships, and your eternal destiny. But knowledge without action is like faith without works, lifeless and powerless. And so here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, commit to implementing just one practice for each dimension of your being. It could be as simple as a 10-minute walk for your body, a moment of meditation for your soul, or a prayer of gratitude for your spirit. The results might astonish you. I'm deeply curious about your thoughts on this topic. How has your understanding of body, soul, and spirit changed after watching this video? What practices do you already have in place to nurture each dimension? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your insight could be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. If you found value in today's exploration, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share this video with someone who might be struggling to find balance in their life. Sometimes, the simple act of sharing understanding can change someone's entire perspective on existence. For those who want to dive deeper into these spiritual truths, I invite you to join our growing community. Hit that subscribe button and activate notifications. We've got more powerful insights coming your way. Every week, we'll continue to uncover the profound mysteries of our existence and explore how to live more purposefully in all three dimensions of our being. Remember, you're not just a body walking through life, nor are you simply a collection of emotions and thoughts. You are a magnificent creation, body, soul, and spirit, designed for an eternal purpose. The question is, will you embrace this truth and begin living according? Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. Until our next exploration, may your body be strong, your soul be at peace, and your spirit remain connected to the divine purpose for which you were created. Don't forget to hit that like button if this message resonated with you, and leave a comment sharing your biggest takeaway from today's discussion. Your voice matters in this community, and I personally read every comment. See you in our next video, where we'll continue uncovering the profound truths that can transform your life.